Hello YouTube, today we're going to be talking about the new artifacts that have come to the game. We have two new accessory sets and two new armor sets, or whatever you wanna call. I have been trying to get them to test them out on my hunters, but I still haven't gotten a 4-piece of any of the new artifacts. So instead of talking about the showcases, we'll just read them and try to see which characters are better with each artifact and what's the artifact itself. First, we have Sylph's Blessing. Sylph's Blessing is an accessory set that has a two-set effect of when user uses their kitty skill, support skill or ultimate skill, it increases the user and their team's elemental weakness damage dealt by 5% for 30 seconds. The They're basically all the special skills the hunters have. Kitty skill is when they enter the stage, support skill is the skill they use when you're playing as Sang Jin Ho, and ultimate skill, everyone has ultimate skill. Just from this alone we can see that everyone can use this set, there's no special requirements for this, you just have to enter the tag into the hunter and use ultimate skill, and to get the maximum instances you'll need to be using Sang Jin-woo as the main DPS, if not you're probably not going to always have the max instances. The first artifact increase the skill duration to 60 seconds, so during 1 minute you have a 5% increase the weakness elemental damage, and the elemental weakness damage increase effect stacks to 3 instances, so it stacks to 15%. Which means that you have to use the tagging skill, the support skill or ultimate skill twice in 60 seconds. At least one of the two twice in 60 seconds to have the maximum damage. So you will switch into an hunter, you get one instance, use their ultimate, you get another instance, you swap again twice, then when you swap to the hunter again, you'll have the third instance of elemental weakness damage, and will have the bonus of 15% elemental weakness damage dealt, which is amazing and makes it so whenever you're going against type advantage, you'll always have an extra damage increase effect from this accessory. I would say this is an accessory set that can be used by everyone, but it's also limited. If you're going against if you're using an hunter in every stage, then it's useless to use this set. You'll have to be constantly switching between this set and another set. But if you're only using the specific hunters in specific fights, let's say you only use a Shoi in elemental fire weakness bosses, then you can use this set on him, because it doesn't really matter what you use him everywhere else if you're not going to use him unless the boss has weakness to fire. Same case with any other hunter, if you only use him if you have elemental advantage, then this set can be used in every hunter, unless again you use the hunter in most fights. In my case, I like to use Shine in every fight because it's my strongest hunter and she's relatively universal in terms of damage, so even if she's type weakness, the boss is strong against light, she still deals a decent amount of damage, so I like to use Shine in every stage I can. And another good example would be the new hunter, not the one we have right now, but Yu So-hyun. Yu So-hyun has a skill that always deals fire damage, doesn't matter the boss's type and type weakness. And Sylph's Blessing could be actually one of the best sets for her, since it's going to allow you to essentially always have the elemental weakness damage dealt bonus, doesn't matter where you fight, because of the fact that she's going to deal fire damage with her skill, doesn't matter the boss's type. But apart from that, I would say this is a good set for hunters that you only use if you have type advantage. If you use them without type advantage, then it's better to have another set that increases their damage overall, doesn't matter where you use them and who you go up against. Then we have the other one of the accessory sets, we have outstanding ability, the two set effect. When the user has 70% or more of their MP, their damage dealt increases by 10%. So if you have a lot of MP, you have more damage dealt. If you have less than 70%, then you lose the effect. MP is something that you run out fast, so 70% is a bad threshold. It means that you only use these abilities once, switch out, and switch in again, use these abilities, switch out. You don't really stay on the field that much with him. If you do, you lose the set effect really fast. So as a two set effect, it's not worth it to use, but as a four set effect, we have the damage dealt increase, effect potency increases 25%, so from 10 it goes to 25, and this effect now triggers when the user is at 40% of more of their maximum MP. So from 10% damage you go to 25% damage, and from 70% or more of MP you go to 40% or more of their MP. 40% is a reasonable threshold, which means you're going to use your hunter for quite some time. You use his skills, maybe attack a bit, you score attack. If the skills have a low cooldown, maybe you're going to use these skills again, and then you switch out. It's a reasonable threshold. Most hunters will always have more than 40% of their MP. If you switch in and out a lot, they're going to definitely have 40% or more of their maximum MP. So it's a really generic set. You can use it on pretty much everyone on the game, and it's a decent amount of effect damage increase, because apart from the most sets, this is damage dealt increase and not attack increase or HP increase or defense increase. And the biggest difference, that damage dealt increase doesn't care about what you scale off, it will always increase your damage. So hunters that are defense scaling or HP scaling have less artifacts choices compared to the attack scaling hunter. So if you're going for an HP scaling hunter or a defense scaling hunter, this is going to be a really strong set, a really generic set. There's no point in switching off this set because it's going to give you more damage, and you're probably going to be above 40% of your maximum MP most of the time if you're not going to use something like the new hunter, which is still good on because she recovers MP when she enters the field. So this is a set that she can use quite well as well. Mirei, Amamiya Mirei, the new wind hunter, but she also uses a lot of MP, and you want to have her on the field as much as possible. So you either have to choose this set if you think it's not worth it to go below 40% and switch out of Mirei whenever you're close to that threshold, or you use another set and just say that it's not worth it to keep above 40% when you can go lower and still have her ultimate up. But apart from that, anyone else can use, unless you're constantly staying on the field with that hunter, you can use it on anyone else. Then we have the new armor set, let's call it armor set, Warmonger. The two set effect increases user's attack and defense by 4%, which is fantastic because this is the first set that actually increases defense, which is not good most of the time, but in the case of defense scaling units, they didn't have an actual set and now they have. You increase the defense by 4%. The first set effect, when the user's attacks hit their attack and defense increase by 3% for 6 seconds and stacks up to 8 times. So in total you will have 28% attack and 28% defense, which is really good for defense scaling units, and even attack scaling units might like this set, especially Shoy. It increases his attack by 28%, but of course Shoy also has the armed set that increases attack and defense penetration and ignores defense of the opponent, so it's going to be a choice between sub-stats and main stats in case of Shoy, but defense scaling units now have a good set for them, and a generic set as well. Apart from Shoy and defense scaling units, you can use this on any attack percent scaling unit. and it will only depend on what type of substats you have. Of course, this is in the case that you're not using curse set, the workshop of Brilliant Light set, because you still don't have good pieces. You can use this one, but overall I would say the curse set is probably going to be better, but we'll have to see. Then the last set we have is the Cleric's Boots, Angel in White. It increases the user's HP by 8% and the user's healing even by 8%. Increase the damage of the team member with highest total power by 8%. So at first glance this is basically a healer set. If you have a hunter that's only used because you want to heal, this is a good set for him. But it's also a good set for, again, healers but buffers that give heal, because they're going to increase your highest team member total power by 8%. So if you use this set, let's say on Malin Fisher and in Byung-Gu, you're basically using two supports that will buff your main DPS by a ton, and you're going for one main DPS to kill the boss with two supports, increasing his damage as much as possible. And with that we have healing even increase, because you're going to essentially need to survive as much as possible with your main DPS, since it's the only one constantly on the field. The other two will just tag in, skill, ult, tag out. And that way you have to make sure the highest power member is your main DPS. If your healers have higher power, they will get the damage increase, and you don't want that. You want damage increase on your DPS. So all in all I would say this is a niche set. You're probably never going to use this set. It's better to use the Blessing set or another set like the one that increases the power gauge, since it's more generic and can be used with any kind of team. This one is more niche. I would say if you want to try the comp set, two healers that buff as well, like Malin Fisher and Byung-Gu, then you can try to put this set on both of them and try to one-shot a boss with just your main DPS. When I mean one shot, you just kill it with the main DPS, you don't have damage anywhere else anyway. And yeah, that's the new artifacts, new accessories and new armor sets. Overall I would say the accessories are more generic, can be used on anyone, especially the MP1 can be used on virtually anyone. And the elemental weakness damage increase could also be used on anyone, but something I forgot to mention, in the Sylph's Blessing, the artifact set also increases the team's elemental weakness damage, which means you only need to have one on the team to increase, but you have more than one, then if everyone on your team has this set, it should give you 45% increase in weakness. It doesn't say it doesn't stack. Here you should have 45% increased elemental weakness damage, so if you farm this up for everyone, if you're going to use this on an elemental weak boss, you'll have an insane weakness damage dealt increase through this set. But it will be probably better on a generic support that doesn't care about damage. That's why this is a good set for support units. They're just there to give you more damage and heal a bit, and then they tag out. And this is a good set for those types of units, but it's quite generic in the sense that anyone can get the bonus from this set. And yeah, that's it about the new artifact sets and accessories. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.